So we are currently live, Benita.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm doing good. First and foremost, I want to thank you so much for being on Like Her podcast. It really means a lot to me. And I just want you to feel just as comfortable as possible because it's our safe zone.
Yes, it is. Thank you. I thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. So, how was your day?
All is well. All is well. That's how I like to every day. All is well, no matter what it may bring. I'm gonna say all is well with it.
I know that's right. So, what are things that you do to bring you comfort and peace on a daily basis to just to make you feel peaceful?
Of service. When I know I'm being of service for God, I could really have peace in my mind. You know, I may not be peaceful physically because it's a lot. It's a lot of work when you're trying to be of service. And it's not that I try to overdo myself, but wherever it's a calling for me to have to do, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
Yes, definitely. That's good. So when you say a service, could you go more in depth what you mean by a service?
Okay, as far as even though our children that we have, that's it's really not supposed to be of service, but to be the best parent I can be because God gave them to me, to oversee them. That I call that being of service because I'm a around the clock mom. I'm a single parent, so I'm doing a mother and a father's job with my two younger children. Um, I do have a friend that's she's dealing, with a little sickness right now,
Okay.
and whatever I can do to make her comfortable, I'm aiding and abetting in that area also. Um, I was working with behavioral children,
Mhm.
where I was at service with that, but I got injured on the job, so I'm now, out with that. But that those are basically the things that I do of service.
That's good. It shows that you care about others a lot and you
I
just
do.
love helping people because it makes you happy.
Yes, I do. I do.
That's good. And a lot of people don't know that's where their blessings come from too.
I didn't know it either. I swear I didn't. I just sometimes I used to get mad at myself that I was just so given in them areas. I didn't understand it because what I guess what it was is when you don't know your purpose, um it felt like sometimes that I'm constantly giving, but when I'm in need, I'm like, well, where is it? When is it going to come back? Why aren't you giving back the same way I just gave you?
Girl,
You know. So I mean, like I said, at times I used to get mad about that thing, but the more I grew spiritually, I
listen.
understood then. Like, no, this is why you here. Wake up and crack them eyes every morning.
And that's how it be too. And because it's like, I don't know, it's just God uses us in a special way when we feel like we're not even receiving what we ditch out all the time. So it makes us want to give
Yes.
up and it causes us a lot of hurt and pain too.
Oh my goodness, you better talk about it.
No,
Yes.
I don't know if you feel this, but it's like the more you give to people, them be the main ones that hurt you the most. And then when they hurt you, it's like they go to the extreme. Like
Yes.
it's like I'm about to just break her all the way down.
Yes. 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 Oh, I felt that. Oh, I felt that many of times. Many of times. But you know what the really part that's be so scary? Because it's the closest ones to us.
It do.
The
It do. It's a
you know.
hurtful thing. It's real
Mm,
hurtful.
mm, mm, mm.
I don't know. It's a type of pain where you just want to be in the bed, just lay down, be like, I don't even want to deal with this
Yeah.
no more.
Oh
I'm
yes.
tired.
Oh yeah.
It makes me not want to give no more, nothing.
Mm. I used to say, I don't know which one is worse, labor pains or the pain of betrayal. I don't know which one is worse. But again, I do know because of growth that we all have a Judas in our life. I start to recognize that we all have a Judas, and we all got to experience that type of Judas mentality towards us. You
Yes.
know, so I've learned to it don't feel good. Lord knows it don't feel good. And I don't want to come across Judas. I want to just leave him wherever he may be at. But we have no control over it. I do understand that. And I know it has nothing to do with me. It ain't me. You,
No, no. And we will question ourselves too.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I know it's plenty of times you question yourself, trying to figure out what are you doing wrong, why am I doing this? Because it's like it's an ongoing cycle, and
Yes.
and when it becomes that cycle, it's something that happens over and over again. You be like, it gotta be me.
Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I'll fine tooth that thing. Like, what could I have done different? You know, did not do this right, or maybe I didn't pray hard enough for this, or maybe because I didn't sit still long enough. Everything you try to find a some type of conclusion or solution in every angle, but a lot of times, no, you're not gonna find it. You're not, because it has nothing to do with you.
Right. How long did it take you to figure out that it had nothing to do with you?
Ooh,
It was really them.
Jesus. Mm. I, I'm 50, about to be 51. I think it took me up to maybe about 50 years old.
Oh yeah.
It took a long time, and sometimes certain things I still may look at like, now I can't. No, really?
Yeah.
Wait, did I have something on me that say do this like that to me like
Right.
that?
Like
No, but
hurt me.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Am I wearing this thing like that? But I just learned to to just roll with the punches a little bit. But again, it hurts. It hurts. I find myself in the fetus position at times because of that hurt, you know. But it just make me lean on God that much harder, chase him down that much harder. I'll be kicking his door down,
Mhm.
that much harder.
Yeah, it's just like it's just you just have to build your strength, and it's like
Mm,
I'm sure you get stronger and stronger each time, but
yes.
you'll be trying to be like, how much more stronger I gotta be.
How many more times do I got to go through this? Because I'm trying to take the learning experience from each time to do something different in the next time,
Yeah,
but it's like it just don't add up at times,
yeah.
I
Mm.
don't know.
Uh-huh. So let's take it all the way back to your childhood. How were things in a younger you?
Um, I would say that I lived in a two-parent home. My parents were married. Um, at first, looking at my childhood, reflecting on it, I'm like, wow, I didn't have such a bad childhood at all. I must say. But then, as I got older, reflecting a little bit deeper, just a little bit deeper, I had to think about me being that only child. Me being the only child, it didn't feel good. It really didn't feel good, and I didn't understand where my mother was coming from. Where when them lights came on the street, which sometimes in the winter time, that was about maybe 5 o'clock. I had to be in the house. I had to come in the house. Everybody else on the block still outside, but I had to come in the house. And then when I came in the house, I'm alone. You
Mm.
know, um, it didn't feel good. But that's something I had to deal with. And just reflecting on that, you wouldn't think that was a bad. Okay, so what? You was the only child, but that created something in me that I didn't know. I had to grow up with that something,
Wow.
and that's something manifested into a lot of different things. It manifests in a lot of different things.
It become as though like a cycle of things that transpired in your life over the years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was attachment. And that's what basically is my, I talk about that in my story. It developed attachment issues with myself. And my teenage years, you know, just to have friends, though I wasn't easily misled, you know, though if I some of my girlfriends that were, kind of a little loosey goosey, because your mom, they could see through that, I don't with that one because that one she's a little too loose for herself.
That ain't your friend.
Exactly. I wasn't influenced by that though. I want you as my friend, but just because you do that, I'm not going to do that because I was always worried about what my mother going to think if it got exposed. So I was definitely not one that was easily influenced, but I was one that wanted to just adapt to just have friends, to keep from being alone.
Yeah, that's very understandable. I'm the only child on my dad's side. My dad
Wow.
has me, and I didn't find out till I was a little older. My mom got pregnant again after they had me, but my dad got
Okay.
fixed after that. So,
Okay.
so,
Okay.
so I understand what you're saying, like attachment issues. I had that on that side, and my mom had another son, but my brother, oh, he 5 years older than me, so it was still like I was the only child with my mom too. Yeah,
Mhm,
it's,
mhm, mhm.
we want all the attention and we
Mm.
want all the love.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And everybody used to think though, oh, you're your only child, you're spoiled. Nah, my mother wasn't playing that. You're gonna get what you need, not what you want. She didn't play that. So no, it was not it wasn't anything about being spoiled, you know. But yeah, I was alone. And
Hard on you,
it was because I had to live up to expectations.
right?
No, it was expectations she wanted. She wanted me to graduate from school. And at that time, because I am with some friends that wasn't going, that was kind of right up my alley because I didn't like it. I didn't like school. So
Right.
I kind of would mess up in little areas like that though, cutting school and things of that nature.
Mhm.
And then later on in life kind of regretted that though because that's all my mother wanted from me is to graduate. And she ended up demising, and I hadn't accomplished that. So it took her to her demise for me to say to myself, you know what, that's all she wanted. I'm gonna go back and do it. And not only did I go back and get my degree, um, I went back and got a GED and associate's degree at the same time, and
Wow.
went back and got my BA in psychology.
Oh, you just went full force. You like, mom, I got
Well, I
this.
got you. Yeah, I had to. I had to. It just didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel right to me. I had to do it.
That's
Hmm.
good. But how do you feel that you did do that for yourself?
Oh, it made me feel. It empowered me. It empowered me because though, like I said, all that time I still was dealing with them issues of being wanting to, not wanting to be alone. I felt strength with myself to know that I had that underneath my belt. you know and not only those, I believe I'm a jack of all trades because I would go do something. I had my certification in substance abuse. At the time I was a TA. I had my teacher certification. I would just go try to accomplish different things to put it underneath my belt, thinking that was going to give me more completion to me, empower me more. That way, whichever way I wanted to go, whichever way I felt like I needed to be of service, I could just go run right to it, because I didn't know which way I needed to be used, you
Right.
know, but I did know, at the job that I was working at, I had given them at least 18, 19 years, but and I probably would have given them even more, but I believe that was God that said, okay, no, enough. I need you to go in another direction right now. You know.
Wow.
Mhm.
So what inspired you to even be a part of the book that you have out now, which is No More Residue?
What inspired me to be a part of that? I think it started me just seeing some lives with Crystal Cunningham. That's the visionary coach of this. And I used to just sit back and watch some lives of her. And I know her from, we live in the same hometown. And
Okay.
I would watch some lives of hers and how she talked about she was very spiritual, but she also talked about that entrepreneur thing, you
Okay.
know. And I've always thought about it, but couldn't never see a way, never saw a way to get into that point right there because I was so grounded at the
Mm,
job that I put so many years at. So one day I just decided to give her a call and join in a class called the Shift.
okay.
And once I got into that class, it gave me a mindset that let me know that I needed to be a part of this because that's when it was introduced to us in that shift class. And even when it was introduced in the class, I didn't I sat back and was like, story. I don't have no story to tell, My life wasn't, that bad, I couldn't fathom what type of story could I be thinking about right now.
Right.
And one day, I guess God just dropped that thing in my spirit. And I was able to write that thing down on a piece of paper in no time. My story.
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah.
tech.
Yeah.
Well, that's so blessing. I'm glad that you're able to be transparent with that because there's a lot of people that deal with those same issues, and some of us don't realize it until we get older
That's
because
right.
it's an ongoing generational cycle that we usually have, or just something that we need to work on with ourselves, and just make progress for us. And it's really good
Yes.
you're making that progress. You took that first step, even just sharing it with people. Then you go realize, like,
Yeah.
dang, you too.
Mhm. Right. Absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh yes. And not that I get glorified to see somebody else that's done went through or going through, but it makes you just feel like, Lord, when you think you got it going, you got it bad. Somebody else going through something either the same or even worse than what you was going through. So
Mhm.
yeah, because sometimes you could feel like you being singled out, with
Yeah.
the stuff that you got to go through. But no,
Yes.
you're not the only one.
So, how did your attachment issues develop as you started dating when you became that woman out dating men? Did you find yourself in that and feeling comfortable even when you knew the relationship was bad?
Mm, I did. I did. Um, because we all know God give you so many red flags. When
Early too.
you, yeah, okay. And I will look at them red flags and be like, Lord, I'm gonna pray to you about that right there. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm just gonna pray about it, Lord. I'm just gonna put a little band-aid on that thing right there, and I'm gonna stay right here because I was in a comfort zone. I would say I had somebody, you know, whether they was the wrong person or not, I had somebody, you
Mm.
know.
Yes, and then that's when you a lot of us as women do. It's like when we have a man, it's like sometimes we have that absolute comfort, or we think we could change them, and it's just
Mhm.
we make they world revolve all over us to a point. That's our only top priority, you know.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's like it's just and it comes a lot. It avoids a lot too when our fathers weren't there, or even a father being in the home, he really wasn't active with you to actually show you how a man is supposed to treat you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Because I hate to always give the, say my parents, this is old school parents, because I know that's what they say about my children, say about me, because I do have a 30-year-old and a 20-year-old. So, but back then, the men, they would work, they would come home with the check, put it on the table, and leave it up to the women to take care of the bills.
Mm,
Keep whatever they're going to keep for themselves, and that's just the way it was. And even if it was, some Fidelis going on, um, they didn't let it too much trickle at home. They knew to keep that thing away from home.
yeah.
And I believe I might have thought like that, about my father and my mother relationship. So that might have played a part also, me reflecting, looking back. But I know for a fact it was me with the attachment issues, because even if I, like I said, if even if it was me seeing how my mother was just the one to take the, money, go handle everything, I still, not still seeing red flags. It
Hmm.
should have said something to me, gave me a little bit more eyesight onto, like, okay, that don't look good right there. I need to
Hmm.
do something about that. I need to question that, and see where it's coming from, you know. But I wouldn't question nothing. I just settled right there, you
Yes,
know.
definitely.
Mhm.
So I know that you lost your mother at a young age, and you are also you help people deal with severe life stressors.
Yes.
What is some advice that you could give someone, even an adolescent or even an adult, how to deal with stress after you lose a parent?
Okay. It was a few of them too that I worked with, and I basically, I basically was able to just, I gathered them, and I always wanted to, even though I knew it was wrong to bring religion into schools, or I couldn't help myself,
Yeah.
and they knew that was in me, So I automatically had to let them know that they needed a higher power to lean on, because no man nor woman can help someone when it comes down to losing a loved one. That's just a heartache that the world can't help you with. You need only strength from a higher power to help you. And I whisper in their ear, this, you know, I will also, try to give them the positive points of, how the parent, whether it be a mother or father, is not suffering anymore, um, what they want, how they want the best for the parent and within the situation. I did whatever I could, to keep them mentally afloat, on being able to deal with it, you know, positive encouragement, and just letting them know I was there, whenever they needed.
That's good, because we see a lot of things even when we work with children, and a lot of them take their angers to a whole nother level, and we don't know most of the time as adults. We just there to do our job, but we don't know how in depth of the things that they're going through at home for us to even judge them and just yell at them like they probably get yelled at all day every day.
It was so norm to them, such a norm to them. And I believe this is why I acquired the respect that I did get from the students that were there, because I was underpaid. When I tell you underpaid, it was nobody but that kept me afloat. You were my bills. But I loved that job. I loved to do what I did with them, because it was genuine. It was from the heart what I did for them because I knew it was, again, it's not me. You're not upset with me. I know it's something bigger than me that didn't happen with them, or to them, So um I loved it. I really did. And I didn't understand why God, again, allowed me to be stricken where I can no longer be there no more, to work with them in that atmosphere anyway. But I
Right.
questioned it. I didn't, I'm not even not gonna tell that story. I did in the beginning. I did question in the beginning because
But
I'm like, Lord, I'm not used to staying at home. I'm not nobody that stay at home. I've been working since 14 years old, Lord. Like, and it's something that I love to do. I'm making a difference in these children's life. Because again, I can see if I was just there to get that little piece of check. But when you can make a difference in somebody's life, you know that you need it. That's your purpose.
oh yes, definitely. But
Mhm.
what I'm getting from this, what you even going in this field is you basically you went and got your GED and two other degrees right behind that. But God led you to children,
Mm.
to work with children, and from you dealing with attachment issues, God is showing you other lives of other children and showing you that your attachment issues could have been worse than that.
Mm. Definitely. Definitely. Yes. Yes.
Yes, it's just
Definitely.
like, okay,
Mm.
I'm gonna help you deal with your attachment, but
Mhm.
you're gonna appreciate your attachment too, because
That's
if you
right.
knowing the things that could have happened in your
Mhm.
childhood and how much your mother protected you as
Mhm.
much as she could from so many things.
Mhm.
It's so
Absolutely.
funny. And you be like, dang, mom, you saved me.
Definitely.
Yes,
Definitely. Definitely.
because those kids, a lot of some kids, they don't even have that type of love.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And with this book coming out, because I have a few, being that I'm not working there, it's not against the code of ethics, to be friends with them on social media. So I have a few of them that, that I like to stay in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
And upon seeing the book being launched, one of them came on there and she said, "Okay, Miss B, I see you." She made a statement saying, "Okay, Miss B, I see you making the impossible possible."
Okay.
All right now, okay, you better say that. I said, I see you. Listen, I see you bringing back some of our conversations that we used to have. Okay, I like that. I sure do like that. It was so. It made me cry at that moment because I'm like, all right, they listen. They know when to let you know that they heard you.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
It
they
may,
know when to
it
let you
may take
know.
a while, but
Mm,
it's there.
mm. Oh
And
yeah.
they
Oh
carry
yeah.
it for the rest of their life.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
You know.
but that ought to make you feel good because that was a huge impact that you
Yes.
made for
Yeah.
the student to even just say that to you.
Yes.
And it goes to show from all the people that didn't appreciate you, that was your appreciation sign from God to let you know it's people out there that appreciate you. They just don't be around much.
Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Because the circle is small. It's real small.
It is.
And to understand that when it got to that level. And I believe it started like right around when once I left the job, the circle diminished. I'm like, well, where are the people that was on my phone when I was working? Oh, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? Nobody around. Nobody around. But I understand now. I understand why now.
Oh
I
yeah.
understand. I didn't need the distraction.
Yeah, the seasons was his
Hmm. Right. Absolutely. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it definitely
Hmm.
was. So with you stepping out on faith, not losing your job, but leaving your job, how do you feel now? Like what is it that you are doing now?
Wait. Actually, I'm waiting to encounter into more entrepreneurship. This is a start. Becoming an author. This is
Mhm.
a start. I want to manifest my teaching now because I want to create a course that could kind of link with with my book, and maybe so I could try to help someone, in these type of situations. I've also been looking into so much other things. I'm in the process of relocating. I'm leaving New York alone.
Okay.
I feel like my journey here is done. I'm gonna take it on south somewhere. You
Okay.
know, they always say, y'all make it in New York, but we live down here. I'm ready to go down there and live and bring everything that comes with me down there and maybe try to make a difference in whatever area I can. But I know definitely the course creation is the first step I'm gonna do, and then I'm waiting for God to lead me wherever else He want me to. I know it won't be working for nobody though. I'm,
Oh
I'm not going back to that. I'm not going.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I heard you loud and clear. Heard you loud and clear.
Yes.
But you were so knowledgeable of so many things, especially in the psychology portion with even helping young adolescents.
Yes.
And the things that you help with young adolescents is really transforming to helping older people because there's some things that kids that you may teach a child that adult have never gotten before.
Absolutely. Yes.
Never. You be like, man,
Yes.
you've been carrying this for so long.
Yes, absolutely. And I have witnessed that, you know, in my relationships. Okay? Because when I see now, and I said, Lord, I don't want to have to, carry that little checklist. But we need to ask for DNA, socials, criminal background check. We need all that nowadays when you trying to, you need to do an assessment basically on somebody. You know, and I'm like, Lord, if I guess that's what I got to do, Lord, then that's what I got to do. If I don't hear you, tell me that's my Boaz. If I don't hear you, tell me that he get an assessment check.
Right. But it's gonna be a person that you least expect.
Mm,
And a lot of us as women, we have problems when the guy that we want isn't the guy that's
mm,
for us.
yes,
Then the guy we like, oh, he ain't no.
that's
And that'll be the man that'll treat you so
girl.
good. It ain't nobody's
Mm,
business.
yes, yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness, yeah, you talking right. You talking right.
Seriously, it's
Mm,
good that you in that space and it's something you
yes,
want to do. Just don't be afraid.
yes,
Don't be
yes,
afraid. Just step out on faith and
yes,
just let it flow because God has something really special for you. You just need to surrender and
yes.
embrace it.
Yes, you absolutely right. You absolutely right. And I tell God that all the time, like I trust you, God. I may not understand sometimes, but I
Mhm.
trust you. You have raised me from 17 years old because I was 17 when I lost my mom. 17. He was God was my mother and my father because you again, like when a man is so dependent on a woman also, when that woman is going, he don't know how to function. And that became my father's story also, he
Right,
was able to really function without my mom.
right.
I felt like I became the wife to him,
Yeah.
it got to be a little bit too much for me,
Mhm.
um, being especially knowing that I was pregnant at that time also. But yeah. So I do know God was the one that has raised me from there, and I know He ain't never led me astray. Never let me down. Though I go through these storms. But I
Mhm.
just say I trust you, God. I trust you.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hmm.
We have to, even though sometimes we be like skeptical and it just be so hard.
Hmm.
And it feel like God just set you all the way back. But it's really him doing something. He's
Yes.
protecting us constantly. And we be
Yes.
like,
Hmm.
man, like, come on.
Hmm. Yes. That's right. Absolutely. I've learned this little saying where you got to get crucified before we can get crowned. you know. So
Yeah.
I stand on that. I stand on that a lot, you know. Even with the rejection, I came up with, you know what? Well, rejection is God's protection, you know. And I'm gonna hold. I just try to hold on to all that little things like that to keep me going and
Yeah.
keep me, you know, in the right state of mind.
Yeah. Keep you sane.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Seriously.
Mhm.
They get intense sometimes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I know it ain't nobody but him, you
Yeah.
know, that done stepped in and not allowed me to go very much cuckoo somewhere, you know.
Oh, I know. So,
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about your portion of the book. I know you shared a little bit, but give us a little bit more to give the suspense for everyone to purchase.
Okay. In the book, I already just kind of disclosed a little bit about this that thing called that's the attachment issue, you know. But what people don't understand is they don't know the real meaning about addictions, you know. And that's what basically I really my story leads up into, you know, helping you to basically identify there's so many different addictions that we deal with. And
Mm,
I had to learn that that attachment issue was my addiction. And
wow,
when we're addicted to something, it takes over us, you know, it takes over you completely. And that's where all my troubles really came with my I had 3 failed relationships. Um the very last one, that was the one that broke the camel back. That's
wow,
the one I get very, very intense with.
wow,
And that's the one that could have broke, you know, took me over the edge. Very
wow,
much took me. It was a very much of a longevity relationship. And yeah, it almost took me over the edge.
wow. Well, God is good. That God pushed you right back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Pushed you
Mm-hmm.
right back. So,
Yes.
what are the things that you are doing now to keep yourself healed and keeping yourself together? We all know praying to God and talking to Him. What are other things that you do so we can give insight for other people so they can help themselves too?
I fast. I fast often. I fast often. Um I've learned through this journey how to speak over myself, take affirmations, put them on my wall,
Mm,
constantly declare them over myself. Um, like I said, I really strongly believe the more good you do to people, also it help open up them other areas, you
okay.
know, that where you need to be healed at, you
Mm,
know, because I could be talking with someone else trying to give them words of encouragement, and at the same time they'll turn around and flip it back on me like, oh my God, you know, because I did so good to them, them relinquishing it back to me what I have done for them, it gives me that greater push and them that self knowing that okay, all right, I'm living my God given purpose. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and that keeps me afloat, you know, to when even when those thoughts come back in my mind on how that person just really did me wrong, you know, I'm able to throw it to the side, you know, kind of brush it off a little bit and not get emotional too much about it where it's making me react,
right.
because I'm saying I get to say to myself, you know what, that's they lost, they losing out big time, you know,
Right.
without having an individual like me, you know, covering them. Because
Yeah.
basically that's what I do. I'm covering you. I cover my friends. I cover my children. Anybody who basically gonna come into my path, I'm gonna have you're gonna get a covering from me,
Mhm.
because it's just in my nature. I don't wanna, I don't mean to do it too much where I'm smothering a person, but just to let you know, I'm there, I hear you, and um, what I think I've learned, I learned that I have sort of like an empath spirit with myself.
Wow.
Yeah, and I know it ain't always a good thing because empaths, you take on a lot. You get hurt a
Ooh,
lot by putting yourself into somebody else's thing. And sometimes when God is trying to deal with somebody else, and because you having so much empathy for them, you want to help them, I might get in the way sometimes and get afflicted with their stuff. Because
yeah,
God, all right, you ain't letting me deal with them the way I need to deal with them. So now you gonna catch it. Okay, now you know to get your behind on out that way now. You
yeah.
know?
Move.
So yeah, absolutely. So yeah. This is how this is what my daily life living is based on though.
Yeah, but I could tell you at peace though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You at peace, even though it may be times you do feel some kind
Mm,
of way. You're human.
yeah.
I mean, that's a natural reaction, but I
Mhm.
can see the peace within you though.
Thank you. And I am. But oh God. It took me a minute to get back to this point though, especially,
Yeah,
after that thing there. It
yeah.
took me a minute. But God is he's so strategic. Oh my goodness. We don't understand it. I swear we don't understand it at that moment, but the more and more I get through, the more and more I get that peace to come over me. I get to I say thank you, like Lord, I thank you. And then now I understand the road I had to go to get to that point.
Yeah,
Because he wouldn't it's times I wanted to run around. I wanted to run around it. And he's like, I'm
mm-mm.
not gonna let you go around.
Go straight through.
Do it.
Yeah,
Straight.
where you think you going?
And I'm letting you go through it, and people looking at you like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with her. Just
Mm,
because I don't look like what I'm going through.
yeah, you would get that a lot.
They
We
just
get that
don't
a lot.
know.
They just say experience that part yet.
Mm-mm.
Then they gonna be like, "Oh, you carry that well."
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
when we
yeah.
can start relating with our conversations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what, and then when I tell them the things that I did to get me to that point, they may look at it like, but that ain't nothing. Like that couldn't have possibly got you there. But it did. It did. I would have thought I needed a living psych with me. Okay, the stuff that I had to endure. I would have thought that,
Yeah,
but it
everybody
wasn't that at
different.
all.
We taking things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
Mm-hmm.
a part of respecting that. You just gotta respect how that person feel.
Yes, absolutely.
So important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So tell us about how can we purchase and pre-order No More Residue.
Okay, well, it's located at the on https nomoresidue.com/Benita.
Okay.
Or you could go to my Facebook, which is Benita Williams /Smith. I
Okay.
had the Smith on there, not that I'm married, but it was for my children because my two children are, I have two by one man and two by another man, and they both last names are Smith. So I just put me in the middle with that too. I'm in the middle too. That's all. That's all.
That's
You know.
okay. Well, I wish you nothing but the best. I can't wait to witness all of the blessings you're going to be receiving.
Thank you.
For people really get to know you from this book, and
Thank
then everything just gonna start pouring because you've given a lot.
yes.
So now
Thank
it's
you.
time to receive.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I really appreciate you being on Life Her podcast.
I appreciate you having me. so much. Thank you.
Thank you.